Earlier in the program, we talked about Farm Bureau's concerns over a new proposal from the EPA. Here's more in our Grow interview with Sarah Kirkley.
You know, this is an issue, this proposed rule by EPA to use water rules, water law to try to control what happens on the land is just a huge issue. It would change how farmers and ranchers do business in very, very significant ways. So really every farmer and rancher is affected by this. Even people that aren't farmers and ranchers will be affected by this. Landowners, homeowners in town, contractors, real estate people, all of those kinds of things that have some contact with the land could be affected by this. And I think that's the reason that so many farm groups have come together here to say that this is really an important issue. This is going to be a big struggle because we've seen what the federal government has tried to do the last few years in taking over a lot of different areas, and so we know that EPA is serious about doing this.
Kind of along that lines, it seems like we don't really know a lot about what this will do. There's a lot of questions. I guess, how do we know this is going to be so significant?
Well, of course, the EPA has made some announcements. Part of the concern is that they've been really reluctant, as how we would characterize it, in really telling us what the specifics of the rules are. And EPA people were here in Nebraska a month or so ago and had a meeting, and we wanted to ask questions about, well, what does this mean? Or well, we've heard that the rule might mean this, or that farmers and ranchers might have to do certain things. And you know, they really would not provide any answers to that. All they would say was, well, if you have a concern, tell us. If you have a concern, offer that in writing and we'll consider that. Well, it's really hard to know how to comment on something when you don't know exactly what it is. So that's part of the problem that we have. All we can do really is go by what we know, and we know that this is a very, very broad attempt to really control what happens, not just where water might sit for a period of time. This has to do with even water that might be on the land during a rain and might be gone, like you see around us here, where the water would run off as soon as it stops raining. Or does that attempt control everything that you see around us here? So lots of concerns there, and certainly we're taking this very, very serious.
How often do all these groups come together in one place?
Well, from time to time we'll come together on a specific issue, but it's not common. I think that you know, obviously our interests overlap many times, but there's times when they don't. This is an issue where there's just an extremely strong consensus that this is bad for everyone, and so it's a positive time from that respect that we see so many of the groups coming together and say, you know, hey, we need to work together on this, that this is in all of our best interest to work together, and so that's what we're doing here.
Still to come, weather, and then we're here in Custer County, where we'll meet a multi-generational farm family. They're our Farm Family of the Month. Stay tuned.